me calling you Fabe?
Fabe. Yeah, Fabe is cool. Fabe. Some people call me Focus, short for Focus. You know.
Is the meaning behind that?
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just a reminder for me to stay focused and stay on my shit, my P's and Q's.
So what do you do?
I'm a producer, songwriter, artist, creator.
What are you mastering exactly? What specific thing are you known for?
Right now, a lot of people know me for my production. Really.
So where you from?
Originally, I'm from Miramar, in Broward County.
What part of Miramar?
I mean, it's tricky. It's like on the borderline because, like, where we from is kind of like a little separation between the east and the west. You feel me? So I was like more towards the east side, but in the middle. But all my family grew up on the east side, so I spent a lot of time over there.
Is it like a, you know how you say east, what? It's like a hood? It's like...
I mean, it's a stereotype that the east side tends to be a little bit more urban than the west side, because, you know, there's more suburbs on the west. But to be real, I've been on both sides, and I've seen, you know, there's gangsters everywhere. So, you know, you always got to move proper. That's what I learned, being on both sides of the fence, you feel me?
So, what's your nationality?
I'm Jamaican, both sides of my parents.
Have you ever been to Jamaica?
Oh yeah, all the time. My dad used to live there. He just moved back like a couple years ago. I used to go like every summer.
So you're not born in Jamaica. You're born in Broward?
Well, technically I was born there, but not. I don't really claim it because I moved when I was like really young. So like that's why I just say I was born there.
So you don't remember anything from there?
Nah, not from that age. But like when I started going back, yeah.
So tell me about your childhood growing up in Myanmar.
It was cool. You know, I played basketball a lot. That was my thing growing up. I was really into. Well, I tried all sports, but I settled in basketball. So that's really all I did. I would just play ball.
Were you good in basketball?
Oh yeah, I was a prospect. You know, there's times where I thought I was going to college. You feel me? Like if you would have asked me in 9th grade what I'd be doing right now, I'd probably say I was like overseas playing ball or some shit. I was nice too.
Okay. So did you attend college?
Yeah, but not for basketball. I was kind of lost in college. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just went just to go.
So why didn't you go for basketball?
I mean, by the time I hit 11th grade, I realized I wasn't really gonna make it, and I was more like interested in girls and shit and like getting money. So I got a little job, and I didn't really have time to be on the team like that. So
how was the ladies?
Kind of fell. Huh?
How was the ladies? You said you was into.
Back then?
Yeah.
When I was on the basketball team and shit, it was cool. I was like a little nerd too, though, at the same time. So it was a weird dynamic, but you know, girls always liked me. So it was there, you know. I wasn't like a ladies' man and nothing like that, but
females were there, huh?
They was there. They was out there.
Alright. So when you went to college, how did that go? Since you said you was confused, like what do you mean you was confused?
Well, I didn't feel confused when I was there. It's like I just looking back, it's like I didn't really know what I was doing. I just went just to go because it's a normal thing to do. You feel me? Like after high school, you go to college. I had like a little academic scholarship and shit like that, so I just went to try it out. It was fun. I had too much fun though, so I had to like, you know, figure out what I wanted to do.
What college did you attend?
FIU.
Oh, so you went to the parties and all of that?
A little bit. I tried it out. I ain't live on campus and shit, so I wasn't in the dorms and all that, but I seen how it was. It was cool. It's a different experience. I'm not really like a wild dude like that, so it was kind of like out of my element, but it was fun for what it was.
So when did you start becoming a producer?
Well, I mean, honestly, I've been around music like my whole life, so like I kind of like subconsciously always been making music because I was in band in middle school. I took piano lessons, you know, elementary and all that shit. But it kind of got to the point, like I said, when I was playing ball, I didn't have time to keep doing piano lessons and all that and balance it, so I had to make a choice at that point. But when I got to college, I'll be in the library, like I had a program called FL Studio that one of my friends gave me, and I had like a little netbook. So I'll be in the library just kind of like cooking up beats in headphones, skipping class. And I realized, I'm like, yo, what am I doing? I should just be in like a studio or something, you feel me? So it kind of started with that. And then I went to a music school in Miami to try it out and see if that's something I wanted to do. But I only lasted like a couple months there. I was like, you know what, I'd rather just be learning in the field, you feel me?
What school you attended in Miami?
It's called Art Institute of Miami.
Alright. So you said, okay, so when did you officially, like, you know how you say you was playing, you doing beats and stuff, when did people actually get to start listening to your music?
Honestly, my beats used to be trash, or I thought they was trash for a little bit, so I never used to show nobody. I used to just have them in my headphones. But I would show like this one homie I had, the same dude who gave me the FL Studios, cause he was like, he'd been doing it like a lot longer than me. So I would just show him and like ask for his opinion and shit, and then I would realize that his feedback was getting better and like genuinely like not just trying to like gas me up. He's like, yo, you're actually getting good. So I started showing more people, showing rappers, and kind of just started with
Who
that.
was the first rapper you worked with?
The first rapper I really worked with like on a consistent basis is my homie Goldie. Um, we actually like made a whole tape. That's the first time I actually like locked in with somebody. I worked with like random people here and there. Like I would send them a beat and they would probably rap on it and nothing ever happens with it. But like the first consistent person that I was working with, actually like building something with, was my homie Goldie, which was like 6 years ago probably now. And we used to go up to a studio in Boca, like pretty much like 3 or 4 times a week, and just kind of like bang out records like for 12 hours at a time and shit. And kind of built a project around it. And that was the first time I actually got like a glimpse of the life and how it really is, like working long nights and doing all that shit.
So where's Goldie now?
He still raps. He's actually getting ready to release a project, if I'm not mistaken. We work here and there. We haven't worked as much recently, but I'm sure we will again in the future. But he's still doing his thing for sure.
Who was one of your biggest influence?
What, like musically?
Musically, it doesn't matter. Anybody.
Um, I mean, apart from like my parents and shit, musically I would say Pharrell. If I had to pick, a person that's in the industry.
Why?
I mean, a few different reasons. Mostly like because of his longevity. That's not something that's really easy in this industry. If you look at the history, there's been a lot of producers that were hot for like, maybe 2, 3 years or whatever, if that, and then you don't hear about them. But Pharrell's one of them people that keeps like, reinventing himself and pushing himself creatively and doing other things, not just music, which is something I plan on doing too. So I see him as a good, example for that.
What other things is he doing?
Well, he's into the fashion shit now too. He's going hard with Adidas and G Star and all that, which is dope. Because those were brands that I was already like. Well, not Adidas. I wasn't fucking with Adidas. I'm not gonna lie. But like G Star, I already fucked with G Star. So when I seen the collab that he was doing with that, it's cool. I like it.
So that's something you want to do too? Like you want to collab with a clothing line?
Potentially, I don't know if I'm like that fashion savvy to be like in the boardroom, like, oh, let's get this material and put this in. But like, I can be like, oh, that looks fly. I wear that, like shit like that.
So you want like the advertising type of thing?
Yeah. I can do that. Like I tell you what looks good and shit, but I couldn't be like, yo, let's switch to silk with the, you know what I mean? Do all that, you know what I mean? So I'll leave that to them. But I would definitely like dabble in other, I'm hoping this music is just, the starting of a bigger brand.
What other things are you hoping to dabble into?
I'm gonna have like a snack show on the Food Channel, but it's like exotic snacks. It ain't gonna be like regular snacks. It's like gourmet snacks. That's gonna be in the way future though. That's the first thing that came to mind.
You like snacks?
Yeah.
Like what? If you was to name a gourmet snack, which one? What would it be?
Oh, okay. See, these always come about when you in the crib and you don't got really shit in the cupboard, so you gotta get creative. So my favorite is like banana pancakes. It sounds like breakfast and shit, but the way you make it, it's like, can't really explain it. That's my favorite. If I had to.
So is that? Can you explain it some kind of way, like a short way, anyway?
I mean, that shit fire. Like, what can I say? I can't give you the recipe. Like, but it's real. It's easy to make and it's fire. That's what the show's gonna be about. Shit that's easy to make.
Fire.
Fire.
Like that.
That's just a little. I don't know why that's the first thing that came to mind for some reason. But I also hope to get into like, um, I don't want to say acting, but like, nah, I'm actually down to act. Cause I took an acting class at FIU. That shit was fun. It's just mad hard. So I would have to, really like get a coach and shit. But I'm with it. That shit would be funny.
Name some artists you have worked with.
Right now I'm working closely with an artist by the name of Varsity Felix from around here, from Miami. Um, he has some big stuff in the works. So I've been working with him, kind of building a sound with him, along with the people that I collab with on the production.
How is working with him?
It's dope. It's dope. It's real natural. I've known him for a few years now, so it wasn't forced. And he's home team, so it's like we can all come together and like we all understand the sound and we can all collab on shit. So I like working like that, natural. I don't like forcing too much just because of a name. I'd rather build something organic that I can have a stamp on as well, and not like coattailing. Feel me?
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm also working with this artist named Satori, which she's a dope female vocalist. She works with like she has a record with Kalash. I don't know if you know Kalash. She's a big French artist. He has something. She has something with Conscious. She has a lot of stuff in the works as well. So I've been working with her on some stuff, and
How
like I
was
said, that's all within my production team, which is the Missing Screws.
I was working with her. How was
Dope.
that?
It's a whole different perspective because she's like she's I mean I don't want to say too much about her because she'll speak for herself, but she has like her own distinct sound, and it's not something that I hear a lot of, especially around here. Because if you talk to anybody that's like on the music scene in Miami, they'll tell you there's kind of like a certain sound that everyone kind of like replicates. So when you hear something different, it's always refreshing. So she's definitely on her own vibe. So it boosts the creativity for me and people I'm working with too. So
Anybody else?
mm, here and there, but honestly, like I'm kind of focused on more so building a catalog right now and building a sound with those specific artists that I mentioned, as well as a beat tape that I'm getting ready to release. I did a collab with a known clothing brand around here called Vinasterion. So I'm dropping a beat tape with them actually this upcoming week called Wave Olympics Volume 1, in which I just executive produced it, and it's gonna have it features some artists around here in different ways, not really like rapping or anything. It's
What
kind of
about the
different.
way music portray women?
Hip hop music or
Any
just
music in general?
well, I
It's
feel like it's deep with that. It's society as a whole. Society as a whole has always struggled with giving women the respect that they deserve. But I feel like there's been progress as far as the music specifically. It's tricky, dog, because hip hop it kind of is really derogatory towards women. However, there's a lot of girls that kind of accept it now. So it's like they kind of embrace it. Kind of like if you go on Twitter, it's like and stuff like that, and social media, you see girls. They'll be quoting the parts of the song that the worst part of the song. Like they'll be
really.
tweeting that shit. Like what I mean, some wild shit. Whatever niggas would say, they'll be tweeting that shit. So it's like of course we want to be like, damn, that's don't say that. But then it's like if girls are embracing it too, where does it start? If there has to be a change, I don't know. I don't talk about that in my music. I just talk about like real life shit that has happened to me. You know, whether it's from a first person or a conversation that I have with somebody. So if I speak about a woman in any type of negative way, she deserved that shit. No, I'm playing. no, no, I just try to keep it, from a respectful standpoint, even if it's not the best thing that I have to say about her. I'm not gonna like call her out her name unless she deserves that shit.
Do you believe in women's rights?
Of course, I have sisters and mothers and grandmothers and homegirls and nieces. I feel like women should be given the same respect that men receive. I'm not gonna say that women can do everything that a man can do. I still believe in certain roles. Women can provide certain things that men can't, and vice versa. So, but I think the respect should be equal and mutual.
So, how do you feel about music and the way it portrays drugs?
Oh, well, is weed a drug? Are we still calling
Weed.
that a drug?
Mhm.
Because only, we'll call it a drug.
We'll
Just
call
for,
yeah,
we'll
we'll
call
call
it a
it
drug.
drug for now. Yeah.
It's always been a part of it. Because drugs have been seen in a way to kind of go hand in hand with creativity for some reason. Um, but I think it's kind of OD now. I think we gotta chill out as far as I feel like people just rap about drugs and shit because it's so much shit rhymes. There's so many different words for different drugs, and it rhymes with so much different shit. So it's so easy to just throw it like, what I mean? Just some of these rappers don't even do these drugs that they talk about. A lot of them just say promethazine because it rhymes with magazine, or they say, whatever. What I mean? They just say it, and but then kids take it like, oh, like yeah, this guy really does fucking smoke 8 blunts in 30 minutes. So I'm gonna try to do the same. And what I mean? They just turn to be a burnout. But I feel like that's in anything you gotta it comes down to the person that's digesting the music, how they take it, and their morals and what they believe in, and how firm they stand. But I try not to promote it. Like I smoke sometimes, and shit.
I
You
feel
know,
you. I
but
feel
I'm
you.
not always. That's not all you're gonna hear in my music. Like weed, 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 Mary Jane, and you know what I mean. Like
Mhm.
there's way more to life. That's just something very minuscule. So I feel like it's glorified a
So
little bit
how do
too
you
much.
feel about today's music?
It sucks.
Why you say that?
I hate it all. Nah,
Why?
I'm playing. It's different, you know, like the mainstream. I don't like where the mainstream music is right now. There's some cool stuff in the mainstream. Let me not even say that, because I'm not one of these old niggas. I'm not even old, but it's just like my palette, my taste in music has always been, I've always been an old soul. You know what I mean? So, like, I like musical stuff. If it don't got no, like, musicality towards it and it's just too repetitive and it's just all hype, I can vibe with it if I'm, like, riding out or in the club or at a party or whatever or with people. I'll just play it, whatever, because you can just, you know, get drunk to it and not care. But I like shit that got some substance to it, and obviously that's not what's mainstream right now. That's kind of like the counterculture, which there's a very big market for it. It's just not what they promote as much. So that's my whole thing. There's still great music out there. There's a lot of good music and shit, but it's just harder to find because there's a lot of trash too.
Coming up after you.
Yeah,
See?
there's a
So
lot of trash
name an artist that you want to work with,
coming up.
like right now, like coming up, that's up right now, other than Prince, Michael
That's
Jackson,
up. That's like doing their thing.
just doing the thing right now.
Mm, that's a good question. Oh, Anderson Paak. Anderson Paak. I don't know how I forgot about that. He's dope as fuck. I don't know if you heard. He got a project called Malibu. I heard about him like 2 years ago or some shit, and I was bumping that shit heavy. That's definitely someone I want to work with. I will. Oh, and the internet. The internet is a band.
Oh, okay, I didn't remember that.
They got a. They're from like they came up from the Odd Future camp, but they're different. Like they're like I don't really know what the genre would be called, but I want to work with them as well.
Mm.
Wait, there's one more. My bad. Before I forget. Fuck. Go ahead. Go ahead. I
You said
can't
Anderson was Anderson Patterson.
remember. nah, Anderson Paak.
Anderson Paak.
Yeah,
My bad.
he's from the West Coast.
All right.
Anderson
So
Paak.
you say you're gonna work with him.
Yeah, we will.
Pretty high. You met him before?
No, we haven't met.
But
He
you
doesn't.
gonna.
He probably doesn't know who I am, but he will.
But you would. So.
Yeah, we will. It's just certain people like it's. I'm very big on vibrations. You know,
Uh-huh.
regardless, I don't care if we never met. I just know the vibration that he's on. I can feel it, and I'm on the same vibration. So eventually, we're gonna cross paths. That's just how
Where
it
do you
works.
see yourself 5 years from now? And what are your goals in life?
I don't know where I would be because I'm such a nomad in the sense that I want to travel and see different places. So I don't know where exactly where I'll be in the world at that time. However, I'd like to have a couple Grammys. I like to be known for a certain sound that I've built and crafted, and you know, working with different artists in that realm that are in the industry. You know, just being a key player in the industry, honestly, because there's a lot of things that I bring to the table as far as production, songwriting, and everything like that. So um, I just see myself traveling and being recognized for my sound on a large global basis, not in the United States, in the world,
International. I feel
international.
that vibe. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I don't like the United States is cool, but I'm gonna be known globally for my sound.
I fuck with that one. I fuck with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you wasn't a producer, what would you be doing?
I'll be damn. I'll probably be like selling some shit because I can sell salt to a slug.
You do? Oh, you a good seller.
Yeah, that's what I used to do. I used to work at like call centers and shit. I used to make
Oh.
mad bread because I was like good as fuck on the phone. Like I can use my white guy voice really good.
Yo, white guy.
Yeah, I got a white
Let's
guy voice.
hear
Yeah,
it.
of course I do.
Go ahead.
You want to do the rest of the interview like this?
No, you don't have to do it. I just want to hear it. Okay. So if you would be selling stuff, like what would you be selling?
um, Premature pit bull puppies and dildos to lonely women who need it.
Wow.
Elderly women.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there's a large community of elderly women that don't really get
Dig
dick
down.
anymore, and I feel like there's a market for that, and I want to be able to give back to the community at the same time. So I'm gonna be selling dildos and premature pit bull puppies
Why premature people puppies?
because they also need a home. Sometimes like people don't want the premature pitch, they want the, but I'm gonna sell the premature pit bull puppies. Not,
Oh, how does the premature people look like? Cause I don't know how.
they look like possums. That's why people don't really fuck with them. They look like possums. It's weird. Yeah.
It's nasty.
But yeah, that's the type of.
So you seen in the news of how the police is beating on black men, killing black men. How do you feel about that? And how can music help change that?
Um, I mean, first of all, it's fucked up. Obviously, it's getting worse. It's always been around. This is not something that's new.
Mm.
But now with camera phones and everything is right in our face, so it's like you can't really ignore it. Nobody can ignore it, whether you're white, black, Indian. Like it's right there in the news, like you said, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks. It's just like it's frustrating because as a young black man myself, you feel me? It's like what steps would you take to try to rectify? It's like a problem that's so large and so much bigger than all of us. Like, what do we do? It's like you just want to just sweep it under the rug because there's nothing you can do. But from uh, a more radical standpoint, music. I feel like the only way music can really help is um by giving a better. I don't want to say we can. I don't feel like the solution is to get on like some kumbaya shit like with the music. I don't know if that's gonna be like solution. Like the solution, just get on some extra peaceful shit and act like there's no violence going on because then that's just that's not the solution to the problem. Either it's kind of ignoring it. Um, But I feel like the only way music can really help with the situation is to create a bond more so, or more of a common ground between, you know, law enforcement and the average, young black man such as myself. Because I feel like it boils down to fear with these cops that are like killing people for no reason. It's like I don't even know if they know what they're doing. It's just like they're just like there's such a disconnect between us and them. It's like almost it's like a war. So it's like they don't know who's who and we don't know who's who. And it's just there's no common ground. So I feel like the only way there could be a solution is if there was more of a common ground created. I don't know how music can do that, but music has always been connecting people. So I'm sure there's a way. I don't know how, but
So how can people in society help change that one way?
I feel like just creating or stop looking for reasons to separate the human race. Like stop looking for differences. I feel like we're always looking for differences between each other, and then like there's so many different groups. There's religion, there's race, there's everything. There's so many different groups, and like if we all step back like and look at it like if the fucking world was to end today, we're all gonna die, right? We're all humans. You feel me? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
we're all in this together. So like that's just what it is. It's just the mentality that we have as far as the separation is so strong and like embedded in us. It's like, of course, for some it's worse than others. You have racists, radical racist people that like live and die by like separation and shit. But even the average person, you may not think that you're racist, but it's like we have that embedded in us as far as that separation, and it starts with that. Like if we all just like took a step back, like yo, we're like fucking humans. There's animals. There's different animals. We're a race. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
you don't see the lines like, oh, you got four spots, or I mean like zebras. Oh, you got this many stripes. Or, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
I
like
feel you. I feel
you a zebra. Like you feel me? Like we
you.
here.
How would you
Like
describe yourself?
in what sense? I'm the realest nigga ever to walk the earth.
Confidence. I like that.
That's how I feel about myself.
You have very high
Apart from
confidence.
that, I try to. Apart from that, though, how would I describe myself? Um, I'm very chill and relaxed. I just go with the flow. I don't like going against the grain. I just, take things as they come. I'm not like if you want that drama shit and you looking for some drama, you're not gonna find it here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's that's a good synopsis of myself right there.
How would somebody describe you?
How is somebody else? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta talk to them. But I try to keep my reputation good.
I feel you.
I try to keep my reputation good because what people say when you're not around is very important.
Okay, so that is really
So
important.
I would hope that they would agree with everything that I said about myself. And if they don't, fuck them.
So what do you do on your free time when you're not, in the studio?
I'm not in the studio. I like to go to the beach, just chill with my family when I can.
Family man.
I try to be. I don't see my family as much as I should, but I try to keep a balance because I'm always like, my schedule is weird. So, but yeah, I chill with the family when I can. I like eating and making different snacks. Like I said, I'm gonna have a snack. So I'm working on my shit, on my little recipe book. You feel me, low key.
I want to see this. I want to see it.
Nah, it's top secret.
No, I
You
mean
gotta
like when it
taste it.
comes out, like if you're having a taste party,
Oh.
I don't want to be
Oh
there.
yeah. You're gonna be an exclusive taste party.
What advice would you give an upcoming producer?
I would just say to like really invest in yourself and your craft. Not only financially but time wise. Like learn about it. Listen to different music, not just what you hear now. Like go back and do some research. Get your palette. Like listen to different type of music, different genres. That always helps. And also to value yourself. Don't let don't let anybody, especially like a rapper or some shit, don't let any artist or whoever you think is whoever, don't let them place a value on yourself. Make sure you place the value on yourself first before they try to put a value on you. You know, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Because they're not gonna give you what you're worth ever. No
You
one's
just
gonna
gotta
give you
fund
what you're
it.
worth. You gotta take it. You gotta demand it.
You
If you
hear
don't
that?
demand it, they're not gonna give you what you're worth ever. So,
So is there anything else you want to let everybody know? You want to say?
yeah. Nah, I don't know. I was gonna try to say some deep shit, but nothing came in time.
Social
Man.
media.
Oh, social media. You can follow me on my name is FabeFoc, FOC, short for focus, on every platform, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Black Planet, Christian Mingle. What am I
Christian
missing?
Mingle.
Yeah.
You want Christian Mingle?
Yeah, I try to diversify because like I'm also a very spiritual person. Let's get into religion. Nah, that's not. Alright.
Oh, you were. Oh, tell
I'm
me.
spiritual, but I'm not religious. That's all I was gonna say.
Okay.
I don't want to get into it though.
So
I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. For the reasons that I was speaking about before, as far as separation and things like that.
Oh, okay. Would you
That's
want
one
to
reason.
elaborate more on that?
I just feel like religion separates people too much. I believe in God, and I believe in a lot of things that correlate with Christianity, but I also believe in things that correlate with some other religions. So it's like I just, I keep my faith and I build my relationship, my personal relationship with God, and that's that. I don't really try to label myself. It gets too complicated and it confuses me.
I feel you on that one. Same way here.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes the sun doesn't always set on the east. It rises on the west. And the grass ain't always green. Sometimes it's blue. But if you look in the sky, everything got a silver lining. And that's real.
Boom! You just drop a gem on y'all.